Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. We got a lot to get into on today's episode as ladies and gentlemen, if I stood up right now after this practice, this whole show get canceled.
Woo!
Practice number 12, one of the most physical practices the Chicago Bears have had in decades. We got to talk about what we saw at that practice. Also, we got the unofficial depth chart released here. Going to take a look at that and see kind of, okay, who fits in where, who goes where, who's excited about what here. And then Cole Kmet did come up a little banged up after this practice. Do we have some concerns with maybe how Ben Johnson is running this a little bit? All that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's going on? How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I'm feeling excited like you are. If this is really one of those type of practices, man, I got to hear all the details.
Listen,
you know, the Twitter clips don't do enough for me. I got to understand what's really happening.
Listen,
boots on the ground. What is really going on here,
bro? My guy. I mean, the excitement of this practice is. I've never seen anything like this, and I think most of the people who are on the beat as well talked about this, where we've seen live tackling, we've seen we've seen players going at it, and you get into some scuffles and different things like that where the competition is there, but we've never seen an entire practice essentially turn into live football. And that's what we had here today, as the Chicago Bears were going out there tackling. They were going out there and hitting each other. Per Nation right there was only supposed to be one live period the entire time, and yet it turned into this entire session, this entire practice of I got to go out there and light up a guy because he tried to light me up on the other side. I mean, we had some really big runs by DeAndre Swift early on in this game. He was one of the first people to take a shot. I thought that they had some we lose JC. Did JC die? I don't know what's going on. I thought that we had some really competitive. We'll get him back in here, I guess. We had some really competitive moments where, you know, just on the offensive line, on the defensive line, a lot of fighting, a lot of banging. Take that for what you will. There might be a pause. We'll see what ends up happening. But there was so much that it just led to this team's energy being heightened, and it led to how much they wanted to go out there and get after each other being heightened. And I'll tell you this, the fact that Ben Johnson was the one orchestrating it gets me even more excited. Ben Johnson, according to Nation Right, according to Tyreek Stevenson, was the one who walked into practice today and basically said, listen, it's going to get chippy. It's going to get aggressive. You have to be prepared for this, because if you're not, this is a day where you might end up getting demoted or promoted or whatever it is, because the dogs are coming after you in this one.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: when it comes to like what you saw and how it all played out, how did the offense look? How did the defense look? Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't and give me the let me know if Caleb really was something to be concerned about. Obviously, that's been blown out of proportion, in my opinion. But clearly, this type of practice will really expose whether or not that kid is ready. Tell me what you felt and how you looked, how that looked, and then also let me know how that O-line looked. Since we're talking about a practice that really got physical, we're talking about people really getting after it.
Oh, it was getting after it, my boy.
I want to see. I want to hear how our O-line held up in the process.
I thought it was a good day for everybody involved. I thought, oh, Jordan's back. I thought it was a good day for everybody involved. I thought that you good? Can you see us now?
Yeah, I'm good. I can see everybody.
Right,
I can see clearly now that
the rain is gone, Jordan. All right, we got Jordan JC back in the building. I thought it was a very competitive day, just like Ben Johnson wanted. I thought it was a day where they came out and they were extremely physical. I thought the offense came out and punched the defense in the mouth. We saw a goal line period where, you know, it was, I'm finna turn around, I'm finna hand this football off to Roschon Johnson. He about to bust you in your mouth and he about to get into the end zone. That's what we end up seeing. That's kind of where some of this chippiness began. I thought you saw an offense that was able to move the football down the field early on. Some nice passes from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore in the flats. DJ Moore over the middle. Had a nice pass to Colston Loveland on the left sideline there. And just continuing to build on what we saw a couple of practices ago. I know Family Fest was the one where everybody had a ton of concerns, but just continuing to build on what we saw this offense do a couple of practices ago and getting back to, being able to run the offense. It looked like an offense that was confident. I'll say that much. And I think because of that, they felt a little bit more comfortable talking a little bit of garbage to the defensive side. I feel like because of that, they felt a little bit more comfortable being a little bit more chippy with the defense because this was day 12 of install. And so now you started to see the offense feel like, okay, we know everything that we need to know. Yes, we're still doing some install at this point, but we feel like we're in a much better position right now.
Man, all I got to say is both sides of the ball are making each other better, and that's what you want to see. I think Courtney Cronin mentioned, I don't know if you said it before, I was able to actually hear you guys, but the fact that, this is probably one of the more aggressive practices in decades, like the fact that you can sit there and say that, that's insane.
Courtney's covered football for 10 years. She says she's never seen a practice like this. Nashawn Wright has been on 2 different teams. He said he's never seen a practice like this. Tyree Stevens has been in the league 3 years now. He said he's never seen a practice like this. Like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
That's exactly not your normal everyday, day in and day out practice.
Not your grandfather's Bears anymore.
This is your grandfather's Bears in theory. That's how playing.
85. Yeah, I guess.
Your grandfather's Bears out here. So I do like it was insane to see how physical this practice was. And what I love about it is it's pushing them to go out there and compete like you're going to have to compete this upcoming Friday. Now, what I did say was don't go out there and act like this on a Wednesday and then you get your butt kicked when the Miami Dolphins come to town.
Yeah, no, that definitely needs to happen. I think there's going to be a level of aggression and competition just because you're playing somebody that clearly isn't wearing your jersey. And so if you can get chippy and, go pause, I was going to say go on the ground with your guy and then get a little chippy in that way, then no, obviously. Shut up, Paris.
That was about to get crazy. I was about to get insane.
I can do that. You should be able to do that with the Miami Dolphins coming up. I look forward to that, and this is exactly what football players should be doing, getting ready for the season, actually playing aggressive football, playing the type of football that you're going to see in the actual regular season.
Let me ask you this, Pat, when it comes to it, because I see this in the chat, things of that nature. Oh, the pre-snap penalties and stuff like that. Did they clean it up? Did it look better?
No.
Jesus. All right.
No. That's the tough part about this, honestly. That is the one part that if I could say that Ben Johnson is probably going to be upset about anything that did come out of this practice, it's going to be that because it was, after you had the big, you had probably 4 fights in this. The first one, it was Brisker and Tyler Scott. They got into it. I think T. Scott laid a hard hit on Brisker on a block. Brisker didn't like it. They talking back and forth. Oh, we got a kerfuffle going on. Rome runs in. They like, no, we ain't doing that. They come through. I think it was Austin Booker pulls the helmet off his head. He's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, we getting some. And the offense was talking cash money, right? I ain't gonna lie to you, cash money-ish. But then you see another one break out, right? And then there's a third fight where Braxton and Austin Booker get into it. And Austin Booker, he kind of pushing back and forth with Braxton. All of a sudden, Braxton was unstoppable. I've never seen Braxton that unstoppable. He starts seeing red. 4 people trying to hold him back. You know what I mean? Like, that's the Braxton I need to see if he's going to be the starting left tackle on this team. But, like, you had all of these moments where you could see the physicalness of the practice, but the problem was it seemed like the offense then was amped up. Because I would say we probably had more pre-snap issues today than we've had. And Ben was getting after him. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in 11-on-11 on DeAndre Swift, which cost them 3 yards in a situational 11-on-11. I think I don't know what it was. He probably said
flip somebody off at the line.
Yeah, I don't know. There probably was a ban thrown in there or something like that. But you got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You did have false starts. You had guys jumping too early. There was one set where they were going 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, or 1 running back. And I think it was Cole Kmet and Joel Wilson both end up jumping offsides, right? You got to be able to rein that in. But I like the fact that they were trying to get the emotion out. And when the emotion was working well and the pre-snap penalties were popping up, or weren't popping up, I should say, they were able to move the ball down the field and get the football to the intended receiver. I thought that Caleb played very on time today. It didn't seem like he was taking a ton of sacks. Again, it was a good day for the offense overall, an exciting day for the offense overall. But it didn't feel like it was just the defense falling over and dying. Like there was a Ryan Bates false start today, right? There was still a lot of that getting the offense to jump, getting the offense to make mistakes. Those are things that are going to be key when you get into the regular season. If you're a defense, right? Can you get the opposing offense to be concerned enough about you to jump?
I looked at the interview for Tariq Stevenson, and that was actually one of the things that he pointed out when it comes to his emotion, but just kind of like broadening out that conversation. That's exactly what you want to see from this team. You want to see the chippiness, the aggression. You want to see the emotion. But even Tariq mentioned, sometimes knowing when to rein it in, but sometimes knowing when to actually show that emotion, show that aggression, show that chippiness, show, mouthing off to your opponent, knowing when to do it, knowing not when to do it, and having that balance. I think that's, when you look at the entire team as a whole, that's exactly what you want to see from this team, is that passion getting to another level, that passion for the play of football, that passion for winning your reps, that passion for winning the down, whatever the case may be. Like, that's what you want to see from this team. And I think Ben Johnson is instilling that each and every day into this team.
Let me ask you this, Pat. You have a best practice in decades, but obviously not everyone performs at the same level. So who was the standout, exceptional, and who actually underperformed in your from what you saw just for this day? I don't want people to take this out of context. Just on this day.
I'll be honest with you. I guess underperform, if you want to say anybody. It's kind of tough to pick him out, but I would say I didn't see as much from Kyle Monunga as I saw from the other backs. But on those plays, here's the thing, though. On those plays, I also saw the defensive line absolutely eviscerating the offensive line at times. And so it's one of those, like, Kyle turns to make a cut. Oh, God, here we go. Yeah, I mean, like, there's not much that he can do in that situation. But outside of that, I mean, like, I think this was truly an iron sharpens iron practice. This was not just saying it. This was not just putting it out into the world. Iron sharpens iron. And so when we play them, but you're a marshmallow. You're not iron. So now you're just getting squished, honestly. Like, this was truly an iron sharpens iron kind of practice where I thought the offense had some really high moments. I thought the defense had some really high moments. I thought that there was a lot of, what's the right word for it? There was a lot of energy on both sides to get things right. Even like when the fights started happening and stuff like that, right after it would be like, and I don't want to say fights. These are like scuffles, a kerfuffle, if you will, possibly. I like Hoag's word. Hoag threw out a brouhaha, if you will. You know what I mean? But there wasn't a lot of...
You don't like that, PK?
Like the second brouhaha got you uncomfortable a little bit. You're not a fan? Not a fan of the brouhaha?
You don't like kerfuffles?
I'm a big kerfuffle guy.
Kerfuffles is different. I mean, that's one of those put them up type moments.
Yeah,
but I mean, like,
that's kind of what these are. It's no punches thrown. I mean, I thought Roshan threw one. But he just, I guess everyone else told me they threw the football at him, but I thought there was a punch thrown in that one. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this at the moment, but we are over 100 in a chat.
Hey.
Over 200 in a chat. 200.
All right.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Over 200 in the chat, 34 likes on the video. I know we're all excited, but take the time out, hit that like button for us. I appreciate y'all.
It helps the channel, man.
Love.
Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Y'all know what to do, man. But no, man. King Booker World, that's not a bad one. A hootenanny, if you will.
Oh,
a little hootenanny, if you will. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it wasn't a Marty Booker situation. But the thing that I thought you continued to see was after that, okay, it's back to business. Now, we had our thing. We gonna do this. I bet it's back to business, though. And I thought both sides did that well. I did think that, though, like I said, with Ben Johnson and how the offense looked on some of those plays, he is going to call them out and say, look, these moments are going to happen in game. How do you get back to the huddle and get yourself back under control? Because, like I said, in a situational period, you had handoff to Swift that he did a really good job of. And so the situation was down 1, needed to kill 2 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. So nice handoff to Swift. He bounced it back outside. Big run, got the first down. Clock's running. Defense calls timeout. They got 3 timeouts there. You hand it off to Swift again. He gets kind of 3 yards in there. It becomes a 2nd and 7. You handed it, and then 2-minute warning hits. You hand it off to him again to get the clock running, which he gained another couple of yards on that. But then you get an unsportsmanlike penalty that creates a 3rd and 17. I had a pass on that play that should have been a PI, but they didn't call it a PI, and so you end up punting. You can't have that moment. You can't have the moment where, yeah, we did a lot of good things, and yes, I stood up for my teammate. Yes, I stood up for my brother. But also, I had a play where I'm doing a little bit too much, and now it's a detriment to the team. So those are the teaching moments I would say that you got to get from today.
One thing that I love, and I guess maybe this is a testament to how great teams kind of operate, is when you see them kind of going at each other in the way of, you have your own teammates fighting and getting after it. You've seen the greats do that. You've seen in all sports. First team that come to mind is when Jimmy Butler was going at it with Udonis Haslem on the sideline, and they were about to go blow for blow. But I mean, that's a championship type of level of team.
Yeah.
When you have that much passion, when you want to be perfect at your craft, and you're seeing somebody else not really living up to the level of play that you want them to be, and you're fighting, going back and forth, you're trying to elevate each other's way of playing. I think that says something about where that mentality is going with this organization, where the mentality is that Ben Johnson is bringing in for this culture to change. We want to win Super Bowls. That's the only thing we should be talking about with this team and with this organization, is getting to the championship every year. And so it starts with this type of, and I go back to passion. That's the only word I can think of. It starts with this type of this culture building that Ben Johnson is bringing in the building.
It's funny you mentioned culture building, and I tell you what, this is going to sound, I know I'm going to get killed in the comments. I don't care.
Yeah.
You all are stupid. You all are stupid.
Yeah.
You all are sit here and critique every single practice. Where else are you supposed to make mistakes? Practice. That's where you get it right. Anyway,
Yeah.
The one thing about changing culture is it does take time, and it does take it takes reps. It takes you have to go through it to actually change culture.
Yeah.
The simple fact that Ben Johnson is utilizing all his padded practices, or more than we've done before, more than we've done before.
We've had a lot of padded practices, bro.
Yeah, more than we've ever done then in the last at least decade. Would you say? I think you mentioned that.
Flus had 8. Ben, I think we're on practice 8 right now. We're at 3 weeks. I mean, Flus had 8, like with preseason games included.
Oh no!
Oh, we at 8 already.
We're at 8, like right now. I think today was 8. We've had 12 practices. 8 of them have been padded.
I love it. So
the simple fact that you're, like you said, you practice how you play. We're going to practice real football. Huge change there. So we have nothing but, we can't go anywhere but up. Honestly, because you're preparing different. The culture is already changing. The mentality is already changing. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy to see that. Our schedule's a little tougher, so hopefully it all plays out the way that we wanted to. But I feel confident that we're going in the right direction. Now, the where this is all going is a simple fact that I think several other coaches on this particular staff have mentioned, we got a real head coach.
Well, listen, you heard Coach Hightower yesterday.
Yeah.
You like that coach?
Clearly he likes that coach, right? He's like, I've been around him. That's a real head coach. Yeah. And so we're already in a space where we should be trending up, and I'm happy to hear that. The one thing that I would love, and this is, I just wish this is more for the fans than anything else. Could y'all just let practice be practice? Guess what?
I think
they're gonna make mistakes.
Here's the part that I think a lot
do it in practice.
Here's the part I think a lot of people don't know. You should know. Like, I think people don't know what install really means. What does install mean? And Install is when you're installing the plays and you're showing them what works, what doesn't work. You're trying to see, okay, where are you comfortable? Where are you not comfortable? And then after install, you put the plays in that the quarterback is comfortable with. And the ones he's not comfortable with, you continue to work on. But I think people look at it and they go, well, it's install, so he should know everything already. No, they're installing the plays. They're teaching him the plays.
It's new.
That's the most frustrating thing online,
and there's
bro.
some days that are going to be great, and there's some days that are going to be a struggle. That's truly the bottom line of it. That's the ins and outs of it. So I think the big thing for me right now is there are more days where Caleb looks comfortable than not. That tells me that you have stuff in Ben Johnson's playbook that you can build around with Caleb Williams. That's something that you should be excited about right now if you're the Chicago Bears.
That's the thing that got me the last 2 days. They were like, oh, my God, he missed the net. They didn't show the other clip where he hit 4
They didn't show
5.
that. That man was on point. Yeah.
They didn't show the other clip where he was like dialed in and doing all that
knocked
stuff.
the dude out that was catching the ball. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Basketball reference. Steph Curry missed 10 threes in a row in practice one day?
Yeah, look at that.
Steph Curry missed 10 threes in a row in a game.
Hey, guess what? It happens. It happens.
He also went for 55 the next day, though. So
he went for 55, right? It's like, but that stuff happens. Don't overanalyze things. Hey, guess what? If your QB's playing bad and he's working on certain things, you would want him to work on things that he's not uncomfortable with, especially with the way that drill was. So it's just like that's the one thing that's been bugging me for the last 2 days.
It's because the culture of sports wants to see people be so good so quickly. We don't allow athletes or number one picks or high picks really take time to learn their craft. It's like you got to come in the league, whatever sport it is, and be that dude from day one. Otherwise, you're going to get critiqued. You're going to get criticized. And now that you got Jaden Daniels, who was, the rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, that's already going to be putting more scrutiny on Caleb to be even better than he was before. And so with all the weapons he has around him, it's like the microscope is on him. And it sucks, but I mean that kind of comes with the territory. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I love the fact that you got this kind of practice out of this Bears team. I feel like this is the kind of practice this Bears team has been begging for in a long time. And I'll be honest with y'all, this is not normal. This is not how every team is doing practice. This is how Ben Johnson and I think maybe Aaron Glenn are doing practice. And I would assume the Lions are probably still doing this as well. But, this is not something y'all got to understand, in that beat reporter room, there's people that have covered other teams, that have seen other teams. Stacey Dales covers the entire NFL. She says this is the most physical practice she's ever seen. Courtney Cronin was with the Vikings while they were winning under Kirk Cousins. She says this is the most physical practice that they've ever seen. Dog, this was not a normal practice, and I think that's the biggest thing about it, where you go, you understand, and it was orchestrated. It's not like this just happened and practice got out of control. Tyreek Stevenson and Nashawn Wright said Ben Johnson walked in the meeting room this morning and said, it's about to get ugly. It's about to get physical. You better be ready for it. Let's go play.
The only other coach that I've heard
I like that
recently to put on a similar practice was Vrabel. But look at
I can see Vrabel doing that.
I can see Vrabel doing that. Now, the one thing I did think, and I'm not gonna lie to you, and I know we gonna get to the Cole Kmet injury concerns here. I guess I probably put that out of order because he was injured at practice. I don't know. We don't know yet what the injury is. There were a lot of Lions hurt last year.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fine line that I think that you do have to. I love where we're at right now. I think this is a young team. I think it's a team that can figure it out. There's a lot of Lions hurt at the end of last season, and that was the one thing that made my ears perk up because this ain't just them hitting. They're tackling to the ground. You don't see that in training camp practices. You don't see that in practices. Even J-Mac, when I talk to him, he's like, you'll have a thud period where you hitting, but you're not taking people to the ground. So J-Mac, I was like, you need to come to practice. You need to come see what these boys out there doing. They hitting. They taking them to the ground. And I mean, dog, poor Swift, dog. Swift came out. Was it Swift or Roshan? I think it was Roshan. Roshan came out, bro. I mean, Tremaine came across Fire! Just lit my mans up. They jumped on it. That's when one of the scuffles started. Yeah, I mean, there was another one where, like I said, it was 3 tight ends on the field. Cole didn't block. Cole didn't block him. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Manung guy, he was just back there. Tremaine was blitzing. I thought he was going to prep for a funeral.
Oh, come on now.
For a funeral. I thought he
Not
was
for
going
my
to lose
guy.
him. Thought he was going to lose him back there. But listen, the one thing I guess you do have to be concerned about, and I'll switch the order of these real quick. The Cole Kmet injury is one where you hope it's not serious, and that is the fine line that you have to walk with having a practice like this, a practice this physical. Are you willing to take the chance, though? That's the big question on this. And to me, I think this Bears team has to change their mindset. And so these are chances that you do have to take, even though, right, I don't know if Cole Kmet was fighting through something or if he had something that happened on the field on a previous play and he was trying to play through it. We saw him go stand with the trainer. We saw him leave practice, and we did not see him return. That is something to keep an eye on, because a lot of the 12 personnel that they've been running has involved Cole Kmet. A lot of the stuff out of the backfield where he's in that fullback position blocking on the run, that's involved Cole Kmet. So that is a concern that you do have to have.
Getting rolled up on is not very is not a good way to start out saying that somebody got hurt, but it is good that he walked on his own, off the field. That is a good sign. However, obviously we're holding our breath to see exactly what happened. That is the chance that you take when you have a physical practice, right? You love it on one end when you're getting after it, but then on the other end, you can potentially get an injury scare, or somebody actually go down with a season-ending whatever, torn ACL or torn whatever here. And so that's the give and take with how aggressive you want to be in practice. But again, I think there's going to be no let up. The only scary thing, as you mentioned, is Cole has been in a lot of these different play schemes and 12 personnel. And so, can Colston kind of step in and do some of the same things that Cole has been, tasked with doing, if that means Cole's going to be missing a certain amount of time. And then Drew Smythe has to step up and be kind of like that block tight end. So we'll see. But I think they got enough depth there where maybe it won't be a concern for a little while.
I'm not concerned.
Go ahead. I was going to say, that is the one thing that I do look at. Not to say that I don't think we need Cole, but like, I do worry about a little less, because we got a lot of tight ends on this team. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are making plays. Like, I think Joel Wilson is somebody who's making play. He got lit up today too, boy. That boy Major Wright came across. Foul. I mean, it was, he's dead. That was the finished practice too. But Joel Wilson's been making plays. I think you got to look at a guy like, even Smythe, right, in the run game. I feel like he's done some really good things. Like, there's some solid tight ends on this team. It truly is one of those, like, if you're a tight end or a wide receiver on this team, I feel bad for you, because you might not make it because of how many people are ahead of you. It might create an opportunity, but the hope is that Cole Kmet is fine and that you're not going to need to utilize any of these other tight ends, because the best situation is for you to have Colston and Cole.
Oh, that took my point. I mean, the only other injury concern I think Drew actually put it in the chat was Jonah Jackson, just because of how he was in and out. And what his progress was. That was the only other question I had, but that kind of goes into the depth chart too, because that's the reason I asked. He was on the depth chart. Yeah,
listen, let's talk about this depth chart. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. The depth chart, unofficial, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Unofficial has been released. This seems like it was released, if I'm not mistaken, by Bears Communications that they dropped this. If I'm not mistaken, let me go to Twitter. It had made its way around Twitter, so I don't know which one is the actual, or it's not Twitter no more. You can't even get to X from Twitter no more, actually. But we've got the unofficial Bears depth chart here that has been released, and it seems like Braxton Jones still holds that top spot at the left tackle position right now. Any concern there, boys? Any feeling of, we want to see more from Ozzie in this situation? Feels like it's a done deal here. What are your thoughts on right now?
I think Ozzie has done everything he possibly could to solidify a starting role. I mean, he's been healthy.
ESPN just updated it too.
Oh, see, that's what I was saying. Like,
ESPN
you got my
just
hopes up when you said Ozzie was the starter.
We did see Ozzie as the starter
Oh,
on ESPN's depth chart.
That got me tingly. See, they're teasing us because I would have been fine with that. Like I said, Ozzie has been doing what he was supposed to do.
Ozzie's
He's
played
been
well.
doing
Ozzie
every single thing. Yeah, when he's been with the first string, he's held his own. And so, he didn't miss any time. Braxton was out for a while, but I think maybe the experience kind of won out, maybe, with Braxton being there and them giving him a chance first before. I think that actually makes sense. So if you got Braxton there starting, if anything goes wrong, you can rely on Ozzie to kind of step in and kind of take over that task without even worrying. So maybe that's the way that they're thinking.
I also think this is the best thing for Ozzie too, just being a rook, and how this gives him the opportunity to learn.
Yeah,
that's I know Braxton hasn't performed the way that we all hoped he would, but he has put some good tape out there, and he is a pro. So this gives him the opportunity. Plus, with Joe Thuney being there, the linemen themselves, that whole room looks a little different. They all get a chance to really elevate their games. This is a long season. Braxton may not be the left tackle the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an Ozzie fan and you really want to get him get him some snaps, he may not be the whole season. We know that's very possible. We've seen that happen just because of what happened last season. So it's not the end of the world. Happy that all this means is that Braxton Jones stepped up, put out good tape. He won the job. He should have won the job, if I'm being honest. Just based off the fact that he's been there long. He's been a pro longer.
It's also preseason.
And it's also preseason.
It's also preseason,
so,
right? He's winning the job in preseason.
I'm looking at this list. I'm trying to see if they switched anything else. By the way, just for you all to know, me and Pat both saw that Ozzie was the starting left tackle.
Ozzie was the starting left tackle on ESPN. And when we looked on ESPN the first time, they had him as the starting left tackle. Let me run through your starters right now as it stands here. Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, your quarterback, running back, number one duo right there. Wide receivers right now, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, no question there. Now we're going with a 12 personnel release on this depth chart. I would assume that means we're running a lot of 12 personnel here because you got two wide receivers. You got Braxton Jones, you got Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, Cole Kmet, and Colston Loveland all on the number one depth chart on the offensive side. Defensively, Montez Sweat, Grady Jarrett, Javon Dexter, Andrew Billings, Dio Odangbo, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson. They've got Jalen Johnson in parentheses or in brackets. He's on the active non-football injury list, so he will not be playing in this game. And then your special teams, who cares? Cairo Santos, Torrey Taylor, Cairo Santos on kickoff. Torrey Taylor is the holder, Scott Daly long snapper. Duvernay winning both spots on kick return and punt return as of right now.
I like that. Yeah.
By the way, Pat, one thing they did change in the last 20 minutes was Luther Burden was the WR3. It is now Zacchaeus. It was Luther Burden at first.
Yeah, they got Olamide Zacchaeus. Looking at the backup wide receivers, you got Olamide Zacchaeus and Devin Duvernay behind Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. Looks like Luther Burden coming in with the threes on the offensive side right now.
Look here now. I don't think that's going to last.
I was just talking about that. I was like, man, did Burden beat out Tyler Scott?
You dang, he did. I don't think that's going to last. As much as good as he looked in camp, I think maybe they're just saying he just needs a little bit more time to ramp up, and Olamide has been in camp longer. He knows probably the playbook board, but I think Luther Burden's going to show up and show out. He's going to prove himself to be that wide receiver 3 by the end of the season.
Well, this is the thing. It's all about consistency, right? It's all about consistency. Yeah. Olamide's been better consistently. Now, Luther looks like he has more talent.
Yeah.
Luther has a higher
100% looks like he has more talent.
Does he have a higher ceiling then? He has a higher ceiling.
Absolutely.
The Luther Burden can end up being a wide receiver 1 in this league with the talent that he has. But right now, if you're talking about somebody who proves to be consistent, who's constantly on the field, who's constantly making plays in training camp, and I would say somebody that Caleb feels very comfortable with, Luther Burden is not that guy just yet. It is Olamide Zacchaeus.
Do you think that they're the small things that kind of separate them, like the attention to detail where you're lining up on before pre-snap, the penalties, him yelling at Luther a few times? You think that's what kind of goes into that?
I think the biggest thing is there are times where, listen, the number one thing that Ben Johnson said was no block, no rock. I thought that, now I don't know if this was him, but it seemed like Luther Burden had a play today where, he didn't get in there and get a hat on the ball. You got to do that in a Ben Johnson offense for them to feel like you're one of the guys, right? You're one of the guys that he can trust. He did say he didn't trust any of the rookies, but he threw Olamide Zaccheaus on there kind of last minute, right? Remember when Ben Johnson was talking about the trust factor there, he said, I trust DJ Moore, I trust Cole, and there was one other on there that he said he trusted Rome, right? And then he was like, yeah, it's really kind of it. I don't really trust any of the rookies yet. Oh, I trust OZ. So there's a trust factor that Ben Johnson has right now in Olamide Zaccheaus that he doesn't have in Luther Burden. Not to say that won't grow, not to say that won't be built, but it's not there right now. And there's a lot of preseason that's got to happen here.
Another change from the previous list, because I still had it loaded up on a different tab. Shamar Turner over Zach Pickens. That wasn't there initially. And Karan Amagaji being a second, backing up down there right. They had him as a third string initially.
Yeah, I think now I do. So they got Zach Pickens over Shamar right now, because that's what I see on here.
No, they got Shamar over Zach Pickens.
I mean, unless the Bears are actively changing this right now. Right now, the Bears have Zach Pickens over Shamar. Your backups right now on the defensive line, Austin Booker getting that first backup spot. I'm actually a little surprised by that. Chris Williams, Zach Pickens, Jonathan Ford, Dominique Robinson getting that opposite spot.
Which source you looking at? You looking at ESPN?
No, I'm looking at the unofficial one.
Gotcha. So ESPN just updated, so it's more in line with the one that you're seeing as well. And then when I say they just did it in the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Like I saw it flick.
Yeah.
And so they got Shamar Turner over him.
We'll see. Listen, like I said, maybe they're actively updating this thing. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Ben Johnson talked about this morning, going out and seeing the coaches and having the conversation with them on, who should be going and who shouldn't be going. I do love that Austin Booker got an opportunity here. I truly do. I think that's big for that young man. Because y'all have heard me talk all offseason where it's like, I love Austin. Y'all know I wanted Austin Booker when the draft came.
Yeah.
But I didn't think
that was your guy.
What Dennis Allen wanted to do. Seeing him get that backup role is kind of like, all right, you're behind Montez right now. You go out here and you show us something. You go out here and you prove something to us. If I see you in the backfield all day, and I think that what continues to hold true and what could be there is Dennis Allen also said, I value power over pounds. If Austin goes out there and he does like he did in last preseason, right? Remember the reason that he was on so many of our radars was because it was just like he was just moving people out the way. He was beating them to the spot. He was getting home. Like if you do that, you make a name for yourself. Right now, you've got Dio Dangbo and Montez Sweat. I think that's obvious that those are your starters. Dominique Robinson and Austin Booker. You got a big preseason coming up here. You got a real opportunity to prove you're supposed to be on this team. Now, Dom Rob fits more of the weight requirements, but Austin Booker, I want to see you use that. Prove to Dennis Allen that no matter what, you need to be one of these main guys.
Talk to me about Noah Sewell.
Noah's been active. This has been his first healthy preseason or healthy training camp to this point. We'll see what ends up happening in the preseason game. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. 274 in the building. I think we had over 300 in the chat at one point there. I throw it under. Over 300 in the chat. 300. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. 280 in the chat right now. 74 likes on the video. Let's get it up over 100 likes. Noah Sewell has been. Oh, we lost JC. Did JC die?
No, we knew he had to cut out.
Oh, did he have to dip? Did he text us on the side?
He did.
Oh, my bad. Y'all know I'm doing a show. We see Noah Sewell continue to be around the ball And that's more than what we've seen from Noah Sewell over the past few years. So I am excited about that.
When you see what he's done compared to last season, you seen the progression, things of that nature, or because right now they got Hippolyte starting over him, which I didn't expect.
Well, listen, I think the big thing with Ruben Hippolyte getting the spot over him right now is just the speed and already knowing how to play that position. Ruben Hippolyte talked to us on the Chicago Bears podcast about that, and he said, I know, how to play that spot. I've done it. And it's not something that's new to me. And he was so confident. I tweeted this out a few maybe last week, I think it was. I asked him, how do you fit in with Tremaine? How do you fit in with TJ? And he said, the big question is, how do they fit in with me?
Ooh.
It was spicy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was sitting there, I was like, hold on, dog.
He talking cash money right there. That's what he doing.
Ish.
That's what he doing.
Cash money. But no, man, I thought it was very, like, he's very confident in his game, and I love that. And hopefully we see some more of that play out here on the field. But he's been very good in coverage. He's dropped back a couple of times and has gotten maybe a play was over his head or the ball was thrown. There was one play that was thrown to Cole, and Cole seemed like he was wide open. There's probably 10 yards of difference between Cole and Ruben, and Ruben tracked him down. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big difference in what we've seen out of this team in the past. So it's good to see that. It truly is. It's very exciting to see that, and it's exciting to see that the young players have a confidence about themselves that they kind of are like, we're also going to be able to back this up.
I got you. It's my last question for you, man. It's based off some of those in the chat, so keep those comments coming. Appreciate you all there. All 277 on the YouTube side. I don't see what's on the Twitter, but I guess we over 300.
Oh, we well over 300 in the chat, baby.
We well over 300?
300.
So far, there's always a camp darling. Who's that person so far?
JP Richardson. I think JP Richardson dropped 2 passes the whole camp at 11-11. JP is a dog. That's my guy. So that's my guy. Like, JP balling. He's gonna be tough.
He ain't gonna get he might not get a spot.
He's gonna be tough to put on a practice squad because he's gonna get signed. He's gonna ball out in preseason. He's one of those guys who I'm not gonna sit here and right now. I mean, he is, like you said, he's at the back of the depth chart. When you look at the wide receivers going down, you got Rome, you got DJ, you got Olamide, you got Dev, you got Burden, you got Boykins, and then you got T. Scott, Samari Toure, and J.P. Richardson. Then on the other side, you got Maurice Alexander, John Jackson, and Jade Walker. He probably not going to make this team. But what he reminds me of is one of those guys that you can have him get, like, if you relied on him, he could go out there and get you 750 yards and 10 tutties.
As a 3?
I'm just saying, like, if you had to rely, he's a very, I don't want to say just compare him to white receivers here, but like, it is kind of that Wes Welker. It is kind of that Tom Waddle. It is kind of that, like, I'm going to just stand here and you're going to throw the ball my way and I'm going to catch it. And I'm definitely going to get lit up because I don't got the speed to get away. I don't have the touch to get away. Like, I don't have that skill set. So I'm going to have to take this hit. But I'm going to catch this ball, and we're going to keep moving these chains. Like, that's who he is. And so, to me, I think that, he's got all of the talents. He's got all of the skill set to go out there and be a really good wide receiver. The biggest question comes down to, is he going to be able to go out there and actually beat somebody out for a spot? I don't think he's that great of a special teamer, and I'm not sitting here, eyeballing him every time we're on special teams, but I don't think he's an elite special teamer. I would say that he's a solid special teams player, and I think you have some really good special teams players on this team. I don't know if he makes the team because of that. So, but yeah, that's been my camp darling the entire time. He's the player that I look at. I think that's my offensive one. On the defensive side, I don't really have one on the defense. Well, I guess LaShawn Wright, who we got a chance to talk to today. LaShawn Wright he's got a real opportunity to go out there and win the second DB job, bro. And I'm gonna be real with you, like, Right now, they do list Tyreek Stevenson as the number 2 corner. Now, granted, Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson are going to be your 1 and 2 if they both play on Sunday because of the injury to Jalen Johnson, a non-football injury there. But there's a lot of that. Tyreek kind of has an uphill battle because
the mishaps of last season.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with last season. I don't think that Tyreek Stevenson has taken the next step. I think he's still who he is, which is fine. He's a number 2 DB. I didn't think he was going to turn into a number 1. But you thought that there was going to be that next step. And if you come in and you're kind of that same guy and a team brings in their guy, Al Harris had this young man in Dallas. Al Harris, Dennis Allen likes what this young man can do, and he fits his style of defense more than Tyreek does. He's 6'4". He's ridiculously tall. 6'4", 190 pounds, skinny, but tall, but still can be physical with you, still can use the length on you. Like that pause, that was crazy.
Ain't a pause. I mean, it is what it is. That's how you scout them.
It's going to be difficult to me if they're neck and neck to see Tyreek winning that competition.
Over who again? I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Over Nashawn Wright, who currently on the depth chart is behind Tyreek, but him and Tyreek have been fighting for that number 2 spot. And Dennis Allen said that number 2 spot is wide open right now. That number 2 DB spot is wide open right now. So,
boy, they got him far on the depth chart. So for you to point him out, that means he's really standing out.
Well, he's running with the 2s. They got him running with the 2s. So, no, he is standing out. He's balling. He's played extremely well in camp. He's had a great camp, and we'll see if that continues. But I don't know, man. I'm excited. We got football coming up this Sunday, bro. We got action. We're going to be live for a watch party this Sunday in the studio, so pull up on us. Bears kick off at 12. We're going to be live. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk some Cash Money's mess. And we're going to see if the Bears go out there and show us a little something. Even though Richard Hightower did already tell us, like, it's about to be vanilla, bro. Come on.
I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting a win as preseason. I'm expecting it to be more, them showcasing some things. And because this is a coaching staff that is like a player's coaching staff, I am expecting them to try to put some people in a position who may not get a spot, a good opportunity to put out some good tape, so maybe they get picked up. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've seen. That's who Ben Johnson seems to be, and then that's also who our GM is. He's a player's GM. Some of these people aren't going to make it, so why not give them the opportunity to show up and show out?
Well, I'll tell you what, you already know that there's some people on this roster still, and I'm just like, it's amazing. He said Doug Kramer. Like, it's kind of impressive that he's here.
Dude, he was the one person I saw
today too.
Backing up Joe Tooney.
He got banged up today too. You don't have another center on the roster.
I mean, Drew Dalman. He's backing up Drew Dalman.
Yeah, you don't have another center on the roster. That's the only thing. Like, you got.
Hey, Ryan.
You quickly get to Ryan Bates. You quickly get to Ryan Bates, my boy. What I hope is that the Drew Dalman doesn't go down. That's your hope.
Ryan,
right,
you got to fix that. You got to have a good backup for the guy that's very important on the line. And because I haven't heard enough about Dalman, that means he's doing his job out there. So good job, Drew.
He's definitely doing his job out there, man. I'm very excited where this Bears team is at right now. I feel like we got some good things ahead of us, but yeah, man, I think that's about it for today. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Jordan JC was here with us. He had to run ahead of some business, so I ain't mad at him. For the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid, it's your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bend down. One love. Peace. These boys better go out here and win something.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for all the underdogs that ain't gonna make the team, man.
I want domination. I want 40-3 every single game.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. That ain't even how they did it in Detroit. Detroit just got clapped too.
You ain't lying. Or maybe it's over.
Oh, by the way, before we get up, Shador starting for preseason. I gotta see it. I gotta watch.
Yeah, let's see what that is. I don't think he's starting with the ones. I think he's just starting.
Hey, dog, put out good tape. Earn your way. I love to see it.